Feel like I'm looking like a damn picnic table right here. Haven't wore this shirt in a long time. People usually tell me, Joe, you wear the same shirt in every video. I only got a couple of shirts that I really truly like. I also got a new haircut. It's a new day, new beginning. And we're also going to move on. It's been pretty chaotic here on After Prison Show, so let's go ahead and switch gears. We're going to do that right now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to bring you guys an update on my prison pen pal. There's a guy I've been writing to by the name of Doug. This guy is serving 1,800 years, and I've been keeping you guys updated in previous videos on the email correspondence I've been receiving from this guy, and it's been pretty interesting getting a chance to get to know a person who, unfortunately, is going to spend the rest of their life in prison for some heinous stuff that they have done. I've never once tried to take light any of what has caused Doug to have to spend the rest of his life in prison. However, it has been quite interesting seeing the perspective of a man trying to make the most of a situation that can't be all that great to start with. Not only am I going to be bringing you guys an update about Doug in this video, there's also two other people that I'm going to be giving you guys an update on. Both of these are prison pen pals of mine. One of these people you will be familiar with, and the other one, wait until you see, who I've just gotten in contact with. I'm going to be sharing the very first email I've received from this person, and folks, I'm trying to tell you, I think that this is going to be probably just as interesting, at least I hope it is, as everything else that's going on in relation to the correspondence between me and these prison pen pals. A couple of people have reached out to me wanting to write to this guy, Doug. Special shout out to those folks. Some people have even taken it upon themselves to already find him and begin writing to him. So I think that that's a really awesome thing. This guy also knows about the videos that I create for After Prison Show. He knows that I've actually been sharing the emails with all of you, and he seems to be pretty okay with that. There's been some people who have asked for an update on this guy, and I apologize for the fact that it's taken me so long to be able to give you this update, but when I read you this email, I think it's going to make a lot of sense to everybody, myself included, as to why I haven't heard from this guy for at least a couple of weeks. So it's with all of that being mentioned that what do you say we go ahead and dive? We'll keep it simple today. Head first into this video. I want to start with Doug's email because his is the longest one that I've received, and this one is pretty interesting because I asked him in the last email that I sent to him, I asked him 3 questions. And again, if you guys have any questions that you would like me to ask this guy, please pose those down in the comments section, and I'll ask them. I've got no problem doing that. I think just as much as I want to get the insight and perspective of this guy's situation, I'm quite sure there's a lot of you out there who probably do as well. Hey Joe, what's good? Shit here, just hanging out. Man, I am sorry for not getting back to you. Things have been hectic. I got put in the hole for 2 weeks for fighting, but it's all good now. I am out. You know, I honestly wonder to myself how much fighting this guy has done and has to do at this high-level maximum security prison that he's at. And in fact, I think he's going to answer a little bit of that in this email. I got your pic of you and your wife. You're a lucky man for real. Thank you. It's nice to be able to have a name with a face. Anything new happening out there since you closed the cleaning business? I did send this guy a picture of me and my wife. I felt like, yeah, I can understand him wanting to see who he was actually writing. I know some people probably hear that and say, Joe, I would never do that. But that's what I decided to do. And I also told him that I closed the cleaning business up as well, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm actually very glad that I did so. My daughter and fiance, which is my baby mama, grandmother passed away Sunday. They are going through a rough time right now. These are times when it hurts the most being behind the walls, when you can't do anything to help support them in their times of need besides write and call them. I tell you right now, when you're locked up and you lose a family member, a friend, or your significant other loses somebody in their family, it's probably one of the worst times that you can ever be locked up. But I do my best. I will send you a couple of drawings I did next week. If you could give me some ideas you like, I could do some for you. I got some envelopes also. I have gotten a couple of new people to start to write me from your show. So again, to the people who have began to write to Doug, a very special shout out to you for taking the time to do so. Thank you for setting me up out there. You asked me a couple of questions in those emails. The first one being, how violent is it here? And his answer to that question would be, there is quite a bit. A lot is over the telephones because there are only 6 phones in a pod and there are 96 people in here. So there's always a lot of fights over that. Gangs and shit try to dictate them and all that good stuff. Not too many people being stabbed here. I have only heard of one since I've been here, and that's been in the last 3 years I've spent at this place. A lot of gang jumping stuff, the extortion, and all that. But there is quite a bit of violence here on the day-to-day. And you know, a lot of what Doug is talking about in his answer to that question of how violent it is things that we have definitely addressed on After Prison Show in the past. Fights definitely take place behind the telephones, the gangs, the extortion. I'm not surprised to hear any of this. The second question I asked him is, has he ever been scared in there? He answered that by saying yes. Not too often, but at times it is scary. Not so much of inmates, but a lot of it is, what is life going to bring you? What am I still doing this for literally no reason at all? I struggle waking up and getting going every day. That is a war inside, because I know I am going to die in prison without anyone. That is reality. So it is like, why do I do this today? It is scary knowing that you are going to be alone in here every day for the rest of your life. I scare myself also. But yeah, I have been scared before. I am not too easily scared though. I have accepted for a long time that you're either gonna kill me or I kill you. Or you can beat me up or I will beat you up. Not much else you can do to me. If you do kill me, you are doing me and my family a favor. You can do my time for me. Think about that. That has got to be the craziest mentality to have to carry with you for the rest of your life. But then I think about my little girl and I have to try for her. It is rough because I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Who would? But I will let my daughter down if I leave her alone in life, and that's not fair to her either. It is a cruel game to be playing with my head. You know what I mean? The third question I asked Doug is, do you hold on to hope or not? And he answered that by saying, yes, I hope for a lot. It may seem pointless because the things I hope for seem impossible for real. I hope that one day I will be free again. Not likely to happen, but I hope. I hope to have someone love me for real, like a real wife and a real relationship, and not just BS. And to be honest with you, I honestly don't know how you have a real relationship in this type of a situation. I hope to be able to be a better person in life. I hope that I can do something so I can support myself for a change and buy things for my daughter, send flowers to my fiance. I hope to be able to find real friends out there who want to chill and be a part of my life. I hope to be able to start a business so I can have an income. I don't want to be rich. I would just like to be able to have things I would like or need and want to do for others if I can. That is all. I hope for a lot. As you can see, they are not really things I will ever have. I hope but feel stupid inside because I hope for nothing, because nothing is going to change at all. I fit the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I think that's the definition of insanity, or maybe that's like some cliche definition of insanity. But it's true. Man, you never need to think you are being intrusive. I told you from day one I am an open book and I don't hide anything, man. You can ask me anything you would like to. I will also get you a couple of pics. They suck here because you can't take pics in shorts, none of that. But I got you. They take a couple of weeks to get them back, but I am sending you a bit of an older pic. I will send you a new one, and I put in to take a new one as well, I think is what he's saying right here. But you can run by me what you were thinking. I don't know much about what all you can do with the computer stuff, but holla at me. I think I was telling this guy in relation to what he was saying right there. I think I was telling him, hey, look, maybe we could take your artwork. Maybe we could help you sell some of your artwork. I think I was talking about possibly trying to go visit this guy and seeing if we could do a sit-down interview with him, but I'm quite sure DOC don't want nothing to do with After Prison Show because we certainly don't talk too favorably about prisons or anything in that department. How is the wife doing? I hope good. You two look like a happy couple. She is very beautiful and you're a lucky, blessed man. Don't mess that up. Have you two known each other for a long time or what? It is cool that you got a chance to do TV. I was telling him about some opportunities that had presented themselves with After Prison Show, but we'll have to talk about that some other time. I'm not even sure those opportunities still exist, but you never know. If it is meant to be, then it will come back around in the right time. I'm pretty sure I told him that I didn't think it was going to happen. I wanted to say something to you because my daughter told me that someone made a comment to her on your site that she is not my daughter, and that upset me. Please make this clear. My daughter's name is Brianna. My fiance's name is Christy. I know you don't have much control over what anyone says, but my kids and fiance are not going to be disrespected no matter what. They are my heart and my life, so please make that clear on your page. Please read it out or something. Thank you. I am glad that summer is coming around soon. I love the summer. What do you do through your days? What kind of music do you listen to? I like a lot and most all music. But anyways, I will let you get back to life, man. I just wanted to tell you what's up. I hope to hear from you soon. Much respect, Doug. I never saw any comments that people were making up here, but, he wanted me to address that. I've been pretty much very transparent with the emails that me and him have been sending each other with all of you. So I wanted to do him that solid and at least address that point if somebody was making some kind of comments. But people make crazy comments all the time. So like he said, I really ain't got no control over that. But I did want to bring you guys up to speed and give you this update on Doug. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what type of artwork he sends to us. I'll share that with all of you. It's my hope to be able to help this guy in some way with his artwork. Maybe put together on the APS official website, prisoner art. And we help these guys have some money on their books. I think that could be a really awesome thing that we could do. And again, if you guys have any questions that you want me to ask Doug, pose those down in the comments section. This man is serving the rest of his life in prison. That question that I asked him about hope, that's crazy. This next email that I want to share with you is from a guy that I actually was locked up with, a guy that we've spoken about a few different times here on After Prison Show, nicknamed Google, real name Aaron, serving 225 years for armed robbery, home invasion, and a whole list of other really crazy charges. When I first mentioned this guy, it was probably in the very first prison story that I ever shared here on After Prison Show. I think it was titled, "Would You Take a Plea Deal for 25 Years?" Because that's what they were offering Goo. He never took that plea deal, went to court, lost all the way around the board, and ended up with like 225 years. It's been a while since I've heard from him as well. This is a really short email, but I do want to share this with you guys. And then again, this third email I'm going to share with you, this is going to be pretty surprising. But Google says, "Hey Joe, I do not know why it took so long to get your reply to my email, but it's all good. This JPay thing, this email that they got going on in these prisons, this is not making it any more convenient to be able to write to somebody. If you think about snail mail, if you were in the same state with somebody and you wrote them a physical letter, stamped piece of paper envelope, it would only take them a day, maybe 2 days at the most. It's taking up to a week, if not longer, for these folks to get emails from me and for me to get email responses from them. But it's all good. I heard about your video from a guard that works at this prison. I don't know if I shared with you the last email that I received from Google, who said to me, I want to ask you a question. Did you put my story all over the internet? And I told him that I did. I told him exactly what I do with the After Prison Show. I share prison stories. But he wasn't mad about that. Maybe he was a little bit, but it was a story that I shared with you nonetheless. And the way that he found out, because I asked him, hey, how the hell did you find out about it anyways? I wasn't honestly thinking that you ever would. And he told me that a guard told him about it. So obviously there's a guard where he's at that rocks with After Prison Show. Special shout out to you. Oh yeah, we have been on lockdown for the past 2 weeks, so that's why it took me so long to write you back. But I've been doing all right though. I've made it through some rough times where I've had to prove myself, but that's just life. I asked Goo what his time was like because this is a guy that had no fight game whatsoever. And to think that he's serving the rest of his life at a maximum security prison, he most certainly was going to have to fight or get taken advantage of. And from what it's sounding like in this email, pretty much saying that he's had to fight a few times just to be able to prove himself. For the most part, prison has changed to more of a kiddie daycare. You have to worry about these guys telling on you more than trying to fight you. Mind you, this guy is at a maximum security prison. When I talk about what prison is like and all the snitching that takes place in there, the highest level prison I've ever been to is a receiving unit, level 1 through 5. Minimum through maximum. And most all of my other time has been at level 1s and level 2s where most certainly there was a lot of snitching taking place there. I always assumed at these higher level prisons, you wouldn't have as much snitching as you would have action, fighting, violence. This is surprising for me especially to learn that even at these maximum security prisons, seems to be pretty much the same as it is anywhere else. Dudes are telling. I've had a few good fights though. I only got caught for one of them. Luckily, I did not get wrote up for that one. I have high hopes though. I'm still fighting my case. I filed for a conditional pardon and they have been reviewing it for 8 months so far. So I am hopeful. I can't imagine what it would be like to be sitting in prison with a life sentence and your only hope is for some kind of appeal, some kind of an opportunity for you to get back into court, a sentence modification, a conditional pardon. That to me personally seems like some very thin hope to hold on to. But when you're locked up, what else do you have to hold on to? Hope is by far one of the most important things that you have to have in an effort to be able to survive any amount of time that you will locked up. Well, let me let you go. It's 2:30 in the morning and I have to go to work. Take care. Aaron. This guy works in the kitchen at this maximum security prison. He's always working, seems like 16 hours a day. He goes to work at like 2:30 in the morning. It's crazy to think that he can get on the kiosk and email that early in the morning, but it seems like he's able to do that. There's a lot that I want to talk about with Google, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to bring that to you guys. But again, I mean, these emails, these things are weeks separated between my response to them and their responses to me. But again, I will keep you guys updated on this, and if there's any questions in particular you want me to ask Google, leave those comments down below. And hell, maybe even this, actually not this person, not this last person that I'm getting ready to share with you, because I haven't told this person about After Prison Show. In fact, I've lied to this person, but I'll get to that. Folks, I'm getting ready to share with you my newest prison pen pal, the first email that I've received from this person. This is going to be crazy. This is a person who I've spoken about before on After Prison Show. I knew that this person was locked up because the very last time that I saw this person was back in like 2004, and they were facing a boatload of time, which they would end up receiving a boatload of time. But to say that it was awkward running into this person again, that's an understatement. This newest pen pal that I've got now, folks, is Tyson. The guy who knocked me out inside of the cooler, probably one of the worst fights that I ever gotten in prison. Actually, this happened in the jail. Definitely the only time I've ever been knocked out. If you guys don't know the Tyson story, I grabbed the door, and as soon as I pulled that door closed, and as soon as I heard that latch click, I turned around and bang! I'm going to actually link that video in the descriptions to this video, so if you want to brush up on who Tyson was, you definitely ought to check out that video. But that was one of the craziest fights that I ever got in my life. I found this guy. He's locked up. He's been locked up for like 15 years now, and his time has been nothing short of crazy. This is the first email that I've received from this guy since I took the chance to email this dude. I did not know if this guy would respond to me or not. When I saw him the next time, okay, because this fight took place back in like 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. I got knocked out. I was running my mouth. I called out a guy nicknamed Tyson. Don't ever do that. If somebody's got a nickname Tyson, it's probably for good reason. I would end up getting released sometime after that. And then in 2004, I would get locked up again and I would run into this dude. And the crazy thing about this is before me and this guy got in that fight in 2001 and 2002, whenever it was, we were actually really good friends. When I ran into this guy again in 2004, it was a very awkward situation because that was the first time I was coming face to face again with somebody who I had fought, with somebody who I had lost to so badly, probably taking one of the worst L's in my life, and it was intimidating. Hands down, it was awkward, it was intimidating, and it most certainly wasn't like them old times prior to pre-kitchen cooler situation. That post-kitchen cooler situation in 2004 was definitely awkward and intimidating. But this is the first email that I've received from this guy. It's been a long time, Jay. It surprised me that you hit me up. And it's been about 15 years or more since I last saw you. Ain't you from P-Town, meaning Portsmouth? I'm not. I'm from Chesapeake. I have less than 5 years on my sentence, on a 20-year sentence, since I've been gone since 2004. Again, that was the last time I saw this guy. This guy had like a shooting charge. Some really crazy charge. I can't remember exactly what. He didn't shoot anybody. I think he shot into a house or something like that. Very crazy situation. I've got some support from my family and folks. Time has its times when it's good and when it's bad. I almost caught more time on this bid, an extra 30 years for an aggravated malicious wounding, and 10 years for 2 assaults on an officer while I was doing this bid. An aggravated malicious wounding and 2 different assaults on prison staff. This guy is a pretty violent dude, and he is nice with the hands. So I can imagine, even though I don't know for sure, that maybe this guy was beating the hell out of somebody. The guards tried to intervene, and you know, this guy's like a pit bull. Once that thing latches on, it's going to be hard to break him free. I got really lucky that the charges were dropped and I didn't catch a life sentence on a 20-year bid. I've been maintaining ever since and not letting my anger get in the way of my freedom. Anger's definitely been an issue for this guy. The crazy thing about the situation that happened between me and him was, you know, we were playing. We were laughing and joking prior to fighting. But I would push all the wrong buttons and I would actually call this dude out. Joe, you was not very smart at all when you were young. I'm just trying to make it and find a nice lady to live a good life and grow old and happy with. I finally realized how short life is, and it's best to enjoy it free than to just survive life locked up. I've missed out on the lives of my family and friends whose life has ended short because of accident or sicknesses, and the only thing I can do is make sure I don't miss out on the lives of family and friends who support me and truly care for me. I can use your help in social media. If you could help me get a Tinder or Bumble page made so I can find some decent females to come visit, send me a number so I can call. I got money on the phone, so I might get you to help me with some of my hustles, which would benefit both of us. Boy, Tyson, what you talking about right here? And how in the hell do you know about Bumble or Tinder? I've also probably should have said this as well in the midst of this. I've got some pictures of who Tyson is. And I'm going to share those pictures with you guys in just a moment, so you guys get a chance to see this dude. I just ran across these pictures prior to me sending that first email to him, but I want to share these pictures right now. This is Tyson. These are actually pictures that he's taken inside of prison. It's obvious that he had a phone while he was in there. I don't think that he has that anymore. Maybe he does, who knows? But you can tell this dude definitely has got some size to him. But what I honestly think about all of this is these pictures don't do justice to this man's hands. To be honest with you, like, I almost want to say, like, this was a relatively good dude. I just put myself in a situation that I should have never done. But that's life, and I guess sometimes we do that. So what are you doing now? I know you got some decent female friends you can put me on with. Tell them to check out my Facebook page. I'm looking for any type of women. Hit me back and let me know what's good. I'm out. Tyson. I really skimmed through the ending of that email for good reason, because he put all of his information out there, and I don't want to put all of his information out there, and for good reason as well. And that good reason is because I said earlier in this video, I lied to this guy. I didn't tell him about After Prison Show, though I'm sure he probably wouldn't have a problem with that. But in my response to that email right there, I actually sent this guy $25. He actually responded to me already saying that, he couldn't even use that money because he owes the prison all sorts of money. I don't know how true that is. Maybe he's trying to get more money. Who knows? But in my response to this very first email, I lied to this guy and I told him that I was taking some kind of a college course. And I couldn't think of the word psychology at the time. Actually, I couldn't think of how to spell it. I know I could have probably used Grammarly or something like that, but I couldn't think of how to spell it. So instead of saying, hey, I'm taking a college course on psychology, I said, hey, I'm taking a college course on counseling. I'm taking a counseling course. And a part of an assignment that I have in this course is to do a paper on how you're viewed through somebody else's eyes. And what better opportunity than you, Tyson? And what I'm asking of you is to, if you're willing, would you share your side of the story of what you remember from that cooler fight that me and you got in? Trust me when I tell you. He's already responded. He didn't share that part of it yet. He's still asking me to help him get some girls. But he did say that he's going to help me with this college paper. And when I receive the response to that, Tyson's side of the story, hell, I might even get him on the phone. I just kind of feel weird giving this guy my number for good reason. Like I said, the last time I saw him, I was intimidated and, it was really awkward. I know what this man's hands are like. I ain't trying to experience those again. But when I receive his side of this for my my counseling college paper, I'm going to share that with you guys. I think that that's going to be a very interesting thing to have to either read or share with you via a phone call. We'll figure out the best way to do that when we get there. But if there's any questions that you want me to ask Tyson as well, put those in the comments section as well. I wanted to share these 3 emails from these prison pen pals that I have with you guys, and I really hope that you find this insightful and also interesting. I'm looking forward to bringing you guys updates with each of these individuals, and I'm also looking to see what I can do moving forward with them. Is there a way that I could potentially help them while they're locked up? Should I even be attempting to do so? Or what if After Prison Show was actually able to go visit these guys in the jail and do a sit-down interview with them and really hear, some of their story? As I say that and think about it, I realize that that's probably kind of far-fetched, because I can't imagine a prison, 1, would allow us access there to do this, and then 2, allow some prisoner to sit on camera and talk about what it's like inside of those prisons. You never know. I'm personally hopeful that that is something that we might be able to do. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day.